Hello everyone. Welcome to our first Celebration Sunday of the 2024 Celebration Catalog. I'm so excited about our Celebration Sunday series this year. I love all of our celebration products, so I can't wait to share with you this whole series. So for the Celebration Sunday series, I will be live every Sunday during celebration, and I will feature a brand new I will feature a different celebration product in the video or for the project for the day. This is what we're making today. We are making this amazing fun fold card. It is, I don't even know what it's called. It's a fun like triple panel card, but it is so much fun. It's going to take us a little bit of time to do this, so we're going to try to jump into this pretty quickly. But before we get to our card, it's super cute. I want to talk just about a few things coming up. Paper Pumpkin, the last day to subscribe to our January Paper Pumpkin, this is the lovely lavender Paper Pumpkin, is this Wednesday, January 10th. So if you have not yet subscribed to Paper Pumpkin for 2024, make sure you do. If you're already a subscriber, don't worry, those just continue to carry over until you tell them to stop. So you're good if you're already a subscriber. This kit will coordinate with the Perennial Lavender Suite. And then February and March's kits are coming up, and they are amazing too, it looks like. I can't wait. So make sure that you subscribe by Wednesday if you want that one. All right, our mini catalog and our celebration brochures are ready to shop from. If you have not yet started shopping from the mini catalog, what are you waiting for? There are so many amazing products in here. DSPs are incredible. I didn't do a DSP paper share this year for various reasons, but if you are interested in getting some of those DSPs, let me know, because I may do a couple small little shares or little classes with specific DSPs. So if you're interested, please let me know. I'd love to kind of figure that out and do that. But Celebration is the big star for January and February because this is our biggest promotion of the year. For every $50 you spend, you get to choose a free product from this catalog. Now, there's no limit to how many you can earn. You can get them all if you want. There are some at the $50 level, and then the dies like we're using today, they are free with a $100 purchase. So this is what we're using today. We are using the Jungle Pals stamp set, and we are using the Jungle Pals dies. So they do coordinate with each other. They are like a match made in heaven. But if you want both of these products, you do have to spend $150. Now, you don't have to spend all that at once. But if you do, at $150, you're going to start accumulating Stampin' rewards. So with the $150 purchase, you would get both of these for free if those were your choices. Plus, you would get a $15 like shopping spree where you can add on whatever you want at the value of $15. So it benefits you to place those bigger orders. But if you are on a budget, which I get, believe me, I get, and you need to kind of break up your orders, maybe do the $50 one now, maybe do the $100 one later, that's perfectly fine too. You can always do that too. But this is what we're using today. So 2 different celebration products that you can earn for free today. So we're going to get into that a little bit more. I do have a class to go. This is my card crate. I'm featuring the Sending Love bundle. This is new in the mini catalog. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous bundle. And the card class will make 4 cards, 4 stunning, amazing cards featuring that bundle. This one has like a little super fun surprise. I do have an in-person option for this one too if you're in the Albuquerque area. So if you want more details on how to get Card Crate or how to attend that in-person class that I have, there is a link with details in the description, so you can check that out. This glass mat I want to talk to you guys about. I know it's going to reflect my light, and I do apologize for that, but I think that it's worth it. The only way to get this is during celebration, and I'm going to pull back out my brochure and show you. But so when you join, you get you pay $99 and you get $125 for free. That is the standard starter kit that is available year round. $99, you choose $125 in product. During celebration though, Stampin' Up! Likes to make things a little bit better. And so the Glass Mat Studio, which includes the glass mat, and we're going to actually use this today for some fun techniques. So you're going to see it in use today. But you get the glass mat, you get the silicone, what do they call this? Oh, the silicone mat is just what they call it. You get this in it too. And then I have my little cleaning cloth in a chamois here. You get this amazing cleaning cloth as well, which just cleans up your glass mat, keeps it looking new and pristine. Now, the benefits of the glass mat. Let's talk about that for a minute. It doesn't stain. It doesn't scratch. You're going to be able to use, like you can use your little X-Acto knives or the cutting blades that come on the Take Your Pick tool. You can use this on your glass mat and it's not going to scratch up your surface. It's not going to stain. You can mix inks on here. You can use this. I had a shopping list going on here the other day I was writing down stuff that I needed. You can use dry erase markers on here. If you have a unstable stamping surface, like if you use a plastic table or maybe your desk is not quite even, this glass mat is going to solve all of those problems. Stamping is going to be a breeze on here. There are so many, I mean, I can't even go into how many benefits there are to this glass mat. But the only way to get this glass mat is by joining my team, is by joining Stampin' Up. Purchasing that starter kit. It is an amazing deal. So you'll see this glass mat in use definitely over the next few months. I love it. I've been using it for all of December and into January, and I absolutely love it. So it'll definitely remain a constant on my desk. But if you want it, you can get it for free when you join my team. So you pay $99. You get to choose $125 in product, plus you get the glass mat free, which is a $60 value, completely free. So you're going to get a huge savings on there. Now, if you're like, well, I already have a glass mat maybe, or I really don't want the glass mat, that's okay. We have a second option. You can choose option number 2 for your starter kit, and you get to add an additional $30 in your starter kit. So that's $155 in product. Now, what does a starter kit look like? It looks like anything that you want it to look like. I have just a sample one that I pulled together of 125 in product here. So I'm just going to show you real quick of what one might look like. So I put in the hot air balloon suite, or the light as air suite. So the hot air balloon stamp set and dies. In that suite is the lighter than air DSP, which is such stunning DSP. I love it. And then there are the rainbow dots and the 3-color baker's twine also in there. Now that doesn't make 125. So I'm also going to throw in the cutest cows bundle, the punch. It's a punch bundle, so you get the punch for the cow in there. And then just to finish off our 125 in product, I am throwing in this gold faux leather trim, which is so beautiful, and I thought it worked really well with the cows. So this is 120, well, it's 124.75. So you can't go over 125 when you're choosing your products. So this is 124.75, right at that limit. But so this is what a starter kit might look like. Again, you get to customize, you get to put whatever you want in it. So this is just maybe something I would put in mine, but you get to customize that for you. And I'll show you different options for starter kit every Sunday during celebration. So I'll always show different products. So check that out. But if you are interested in joining, there's a link in the video description. You can check that out, or you can send me a message, ask me questions. I'd love to help you out. When you join Stampin' Up, you get lots of perks. You get discounts on products. You get to see new products early. Lots of amazing demonstrator benefits. And you don't have to sell. Selling is optional. You do not have to do classes. You do not have to do Facebook Lives. You can just get a discount on your products and be a super happy customer. Okay. If you are shopping though, please use this host code. This is my January host code. The only exception to using this host code is if your order is over $150. Let's say you want the Jungle Pal set and dies. These are not the right dies. These are the right dies. If you want these dies, and you're placing a $150 order, don't use that host code, because again, you're going to get those Stampin' rewards like we talked about earlier. So, but these are the celebration products we're using today for Sale-a-Bration Sunday. The Jungle Pal stamp set, which is an adorable little stamp set. I love this little toucan. I haven't used him yet, but I love him. And then I think this is like a lemur, I think. But, and then the dies. Let me pull out the dies because they are pretty phenomenal. Not only do you get everything to cut out all those animals, but you also get lots of leaves and greenery and this fun tree. So cute. So again, these are only available free during celebration, so you can grab these free with your qualifying purchase. So I'm going to move those off to the side. We are using one more die. That Jungle Pal set does not come with any greetings, so I'm pulling out this brand new die. These are the mini alphabet dies. You can see it's one big giant die that will cut out the alphabet. It has multiples of some of the vowels and other popular letters, but that is what we're using for our greeting today. Okay, so let's jump in. Isn't this fun? So it pulls out plenty of room to write. You can even do a little bit of writing here, but just make sure you don't go kind of past this, but plenty of room to write, and it just expands. And so we're going to make three separate panels. We have our sloth, our alligator, and then our tiger. So we're making 3 different panels, and then we're making the greeting for that. So let's start with the actual card base though, because this is a big card base. So let's start with that. So you're going to need 2 pieces. For my card, I am using Lemon Lime Twist. You're going to need 1 piece that is your standard card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5. And I've scored it in 2 places. I'm trying to find my bone folder. I have scored it at 1 1/4 and at 4 1/4. So I'm going to use my bone folder and give this a really good burnish. Now, if you're watching this on Facebook, please share this with your crafty friends. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. That really, really helps me out. And you never miss a video that way, and it helps my business grow. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. You're just kind of doing like a zigzag fold, and this is with that 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. All the measurements are in the video description too, so don't worry about writing those down. All right, and then you're going to need another piece of cardstock, same color, Lemon Lime Twist. This is 5.5 by 6. Make sure that you are scoring on the long side, on the 6-inch side, because they need to be the same height to make that card base. So on this one, you're going to score at 1.5 and at 3. So hold it in half and then scored at 1.5. Okay, so let's get this thing adhered together. So again, this makes the zigzag, so same zigzag fold for each of them. We are going to adhere this little 1 1/4 inch panel to this back right here. So where the cut edge is. Don't do the folded edge. I did that the other day. I had to rip my card apart. so it's going to, once we get it adhered, that's what it's going to look like. Okay. So I'm going to use some nice strong adhesive. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use liquid glue would also be really good here. Our Tombow multi-purpose glue that has a good strong hold, but it gives you a little bit of wiggle room if you need to move stuff around. But so I'm just going to hope I get this right the first time. I'm just going to line this cut edge up with that score line right there. And when we adhere it down, you should have a flush edge on this side. All those score lines and edges should line up. Okay, so and that is it. That is our card base. So not complicated. You do need a couple pieces of cardstock here. This might require a little bit of extra postage as we get our layers on here. This is going to get a little bit thicker. But if you hand deliver this, you're golden, you're good to go. So, but it will fit in a standard envelope. So let's move on to our layers. We're going to do a little bit of ink blending on our layers, but let me talk about all our layers real quick. So I have 3 pieces of basic white, and then I have 1 piece of DSP, and this is a Sale-a-Bration DSP that I don't even remember the name of, Simply Adorned or Most Adored, or let's see if we can find it in here. Here it is, Most Adored. It is beautiful. It's like Flirty Flamingo, real red and gold. It's just stunning. You're going to love this for your Valentine's projects for sure. But I'm just using the gold side here. This is beautiful plaid pattern. So fun. But we're just using these little gold hearts. We're not going to do anything to this one yet, so I'm going to set this one aside. But we are going to do some ink blending on our white pieces. So you're going to need some white panels for our 3 little scenes here. Now, you can do this with DSP too. You don't have to use white. Do this with DSP, other colored cardstock, whatever you want. So for our sloth piece, this is 5 3/8 by 1 3/8, and that's also the same size as this DSP, 5 3/8 by 1 3/8. For our little alligator panel, this one is 5 3/8 by 2 7/8. And then for our tiger panel back here, this one is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so let's start with our, I'm going to move these out of the way. Let's start with our little sloth piece. I'll pull this in so we have something to go by. I'm going to pull in my silicone mat here. Let me move some ink pads out of the way though. We're going to do some ink blending, and I'm going to ink blend right onto my glass mat. And we're going to talk about some of those benefits of ink blending right on the glass mat. So I'm going to put this off kind of to the corner so I can stick my ink pad there. It's not going to move around. It's going to stay nice and set there. So with our smallest piece of cardstock, our white cardstock, I'm going to open this up. Now, I don't want to cover the whole background. You can see some spots are a little bit, like down here we have some green spots, some white spots. I am kind of going for a more splotchy kind of look. I just want to give it a little bit of definition in the background. We're going for kind of splotchy coverage, which is not really what you want with a blending brush, but for this one, it's going to work so good. Okay, so I just picked up a little bit of ink. I'm just going to tap a little bit onto my glass mat here because I don't want a harsh line. And I'm just going to kind of go across, go kind of back and forth. Now, the great thing with the glass mat is if you need more ink, you can kind of pick up where you tapped off and just keep going. So you don't have to go back. You don't have to keep re-inking. You can just kind of keep going. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. So we have a little bit of splotchiness. I don't know if it's going to pick up all that well. You know, let's go a little bit darker. Pick up a little bit more. Let's go a little bit darker with our lemon lime twist here. Okay, I think that's good. It's lots of fun shading on here. Okay, now I also want to do some green on the bottom of my tiger piece. We're not going to do any green on our alligator piece, but I want to do some green on the bottom of my tiger piece. So as long as my ink is out, I'm just going to kind of pick up some of that ink. And we're just going to go along the bottom here. You can see how beautiful this ink just kind of blends on this glass mat. So effortless. It's so easy. Just pick up any of that ink that's left and pick it up. Okay, so just the bottom of our green there, or of our tiger piece. And we'll come back to this one in just a minute. All right, now before we go on to another color, I just want to grab my cleaning cloth and just clean this up real quick. All right, all good. We are ready to go. So let me put my green one away. My green pad, so it's lemon lime twist. And I'm going to move my blending brushes out of the way too. All right, so let's go into Pool Party. We'll stick with our tiger piece. So we're going to go Pool Party for this one. And I'm going to bring back my piece that I've done the green on the bottom of. And this time we're going to do the sky. And again, we're going for kind of that same splotchy kind of look that we went with on the first little panel, the sloth panel. My Pool Party needs re-inked so badly, you guys. So we're going to have to really kind of do an arm workout to get the colored we want here. But I'm making sure the edges are all kind of gone around. I wish that the ink was showing better with my lights. My lights are a little bright. We have a dark and dreary day here. We have another snowstorm coming. I just hope that my dog has a grooming appointment today, so I'm hoping that we can get the dog to the groomer and back before it starts to snow. So I don't know. Let me see if I can. Well, even that. You'll have to trust me. It's there, I promise. All right. While we have the Pool Party out, I'm going to pull in that middle panel, and we want the same Pool Party sky for our alligator piece. So we're going to do the same thing. And I really need to re-ink this Pool Party pad. I've been using this one a lot. I used this one for some swaps the other day, and so it's been well used. So it's time to be re-inked. So around all the edges and anything on my mat, I'm going to pick up. Okay, I think that's good. We're done with our Pool Party. I'll put that aside. And our last color is Balmy Blue, and I'm not even going to clean my mat. There's not a lot of ink on the mat, and we're going kind of from a blue to a blue, so I'm not going to be too worried about what's on my mat. But Balmy Blue, and this is going to be for the water of our alligator piece. So I'll pull that in just a little bit so you can see. So this one, we're just going to do the very bottom for some water. Pick that up. A little marker thing just flew off my blending brush. I'm going to pick up all this ink down here and just keep blending that right onto my paper here. All right, I want it a little bit darker. So I'm going to start on my mat and just keep blending up. So gorgeous. All right, so there is our Balmy Blue. So that's all the ink blending. Let me put my ink pad away, and I'm going to move my silicone mat. Oops, things are falling from the sky. And let's clean this up just so we don't get any Balmy Blue or Pool Party ink onto our project. All right, perfect. All clean, ready to move on. And this doesn't even stay wet very long. That cleaning cloth, it's only wet with water, but it's not very wet at all. It's just kind of damp, and you just kind of wipe it off. You're good to go. Okay, so let's bring our card back That's what we're doing. So let's work on our little animals now. Now I have already pre-stamped all of my animals just to kind of save a little bit of time. So all we're going to do is do some quick coloring on them. So let's start with our sloth. So I've already stamped and die cut him. And I have some not pool party. Oh my goodness. This is petal pink. This is not pool party. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit for the coloring. And hopefully I'll remember to zoom out. But so his little face here, I'm going to do in dark petal pink. Now we have lots of different options for this. You can do any of our natural tones. Let me move this over to kind of block that light so we can, well, that's really close, isn't it? It's okay. Any of our natural tones markers will work great for his little face. I'm just using petal pink. And then I'm going to do dark crumb cake kind of on the bottom of him here where he's hanging. His arm is going to be a little bit darker. Around his face, his arm, the bottom of his arm, his belly is going to be a little bit darker, this leg, and then all along his back is going to be a little bit darker. So this is all with dark crumb cake. I'm just kind of adding lots of shading there, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go in with my light crumb cake, and we're just going to blend all that out. Very nice. I love blending, and I have found that on the glass mat too, the blending with our Stampin' Blends actually goes much smoother. Now, I don't know the full science on that. Don't quote me on any of the science. I kind of think it's because this glass mat stays nice and cool. It's kind of cool to the touch, and I honestly think that it is stopping the evaporation of the alcohol in the markers from evaporating too quickly, so that ink stays wetter, which means you have a little bit more time to blend. Okay, so there is our sweet little sloth. Isn't he cute? All right, so that's it for our sloth. Let's do our alligator. I have him all ready to go. I have crumb cake and lemon lime twist for this one. So I'm gonna grab my lemon lime twist first. Not crumb cake. Oh my gosh, this is granny apple green. You guys. I do know my colors, I promise. All right, for our dark lemon lime twist that we're going to start with, we're going to do dark along the, make sure, oh, this is dark granny apple. Hold on. Let me find my dark lemon lime. Here it is. Dark lemon lime twist along his legs, where anything's going to be in the shadow. So under him down here, his belly. You know, there's going to be no right or wrong to how you color these guys. So, you know, if you're a big artist, if you kind of go by, you know, the light is coming in from the top left, so this part's going to be shaded, or, you know, I don't know any of that stuff. So I just kind of color it. I kind of go up here where the artist has given those little lines for his little spikes. That's where I'm putting the dark, because the artist has told me it's going to be darker here, so add some dark here. Go around his eyes kind of carefully, kind of went outside the lines there, but that's okay. And then under his mouth here, along his chin. So that's where I'm doing my dark. And let's see if I can find my light lemon lime twist. All right, and we're gonna blend all that out. So just keep blending, going, and blend that color out. The lemon lime twist, there's not too much differentiation from the light and the dark, so you're not going to see a huge contrast, but that's why we have the granny apple green. We're going to pull that in for a little bit of extra shading. Go around his teeth very carefully. You don't want green teeth. All right, let's pull in our dark granny apple green, which I just had. All right, and I'm just going to add just a little bit more shading to these areas where I want it to be just a little bit darker. So kind of along his back, under his chin. I'm not adding as much as I did with the lemon lime twist, just adding a little bit. And then as long as I have the dark here, these little spikes on his back, we're going to go in with the dark and fill those in. All right, let's go back to our light lemon lime twist, and we're just going to blend out any of that granny apple green that needed to be blended out. I think that looks good. So there's our little alligator. He's super cute too. All right, now we just have our tiger. So let me pull that in. Here's our tiger ready to go. And for this one, I'm using pumpkin pie, and then I have smoky slate light and the color lifter. So we're going to come to those in just a minute. Let me, how about we turn this so we can see our tiger friend here, maybe. your tiger friend. There. Okay, so I'm going to start with my dark. Again, I like to start with my dark when I'm using Stampin' Blends. There's no right or wrong. If you want to give it a coat of light and then go back in with the dark, that's okay too. I have better results when I start with dark, but there is no right or wrong. Believe me, you can do it either way. So just kind of around his face, the top and then the left and the right of his face. This area down here under his chin and his belly, I'm leaving white. Under his face here and his arm. And then back here on this back leg is going to be mostly dark, so it's in the shadow. And the same thing for this leg back here. And this leg, just going to kind of go on either side. And I'm going to go along his back. Just pull some of that dark down. Along the top of his belly just a little bit. And then just kind of down his tail just a little bit. So that's our dark pumpkin pie. And then I'll come in with my light. And we're just going to blend these out. You can go back and add more dark if you want to make it a little bit more, give more shading, or if you just want a darker look to it, that's fine too. Now, if you don't want to color any of these, you can just stamp them on colored cardstock. Stamp the tiger on pumpkin pie cardstock, stamp the alligator on some lemon lime twist cardstock, and the sloth on crumb cake, and you'll be good to go. You don't need to color any of these in, really. Okay. All right, I think that's good. I think he looks good. A little bit of extra shading. Okay, now for his belly, I'm going to use my light smoky slate, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of shading just on either side of his cheeks there, where his leg is overlapping. I just did a kind of a V, and then down here on his belly, just a little bit down there. Now we're going to pull out our color lifter. And I'm just going to kind of pull some of that smoky slate. This is really just adding some shading to his white fur, just so it's not like stark white. It's going to give us a little bit of different look. It's going to just give it some nice shading. All right, for his nose, come back in with your smoky slate and just color the nose. Okay, so there is our little tiger. He is super cute as well. Okay, I'm going to zoom. Oops, that's in. Let's go zoom back out, so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, whoop, went too far. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up with my computer. Oh yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. Okay, so let's start putting our entire card together. We have our little animals, we have our panels, so let's start putting our card together. Now, this is a card, I mean, I'm not gonna make 100 of these, but I'm gonna make a couple for some special people. This card I actually gave to my husband for our anniversary last week, so. We went out to dinner last night for our anniversary, and as we were leaving, we kind of walked by the, you know, where the servers put in the orders, and on the computer screen when we walked by, like the lock screen for the servers, it says, we card for anyone born, what was yesterday? January 6, 2003. And my husband and I both kind of looked at each other because we were like, oh my gosh, we were married in 2003. And we both knew, like, we've been married 21 years. We both knew, but it didn't occur to us until we were like, oh my gosh, we're a whole drinking age married. So it was just kind of funny. We laughed about that on the way to the car. All right, now I have pre-cut these vines out of lemon lime twist and granny apple green. And I'm just adding some liquid glue on the back. Now, take my advice and use an adhesive sheet. That will save you some time. All right, I'm just going to, I only put a little bit of liquid glue just kind of on those little leaves on the first part, and we're just going to kind of lay those down. We're going to go back, going the opposite direction with our granny apple green. Not our granny apple green, this is our lemon lime twist. I'm having so much trouble with my colors today. And we're going to do this kind of the opposite direction, just like this. Okay. Now turn it over, trim off those edges of the vines. We're going to come back and give this a better trim in just a minute once it's dry. Trim off some of those edges, and we're going to do that again. But you can see where that adhesive sheet is going to come in handy. You're going to want to really pull out the adhesive sheet for the skinny little vine. And then this one's going to go this way. And this one will go the other way. So use your adhesive sheets. I cut a bunch of these out without even thinking I needed adhesive sheets. And then I went, ooh, that would have been a good idea. And just set it down. Okay, we're going to set this aside to dry, all those little vines. And then we're going to come back and trim everything up nice and neat. Okay, now for our little, for our alligator piece, we have him on in our water here. Now I have die cut, also with those dies, I've die cut 2 of these little grassy pieces from Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green. And we're gonna use both of the Granny Apple Greens on this one. One on here, and then another Lemon Lime Twist on this one. This one, you can do adhesive sheets on these too, but there is a little bit of extra room on here. So this one I'm actually only going to do the 3 right leaves. And I'm just going to kind of stick that along the bottom. And then our little alligator will just kind of like be walking out of those little, you know, I don't know what you call those in a lake or river, wherever alligators live. Okay. So that's it for our alligator one. We're going to let that glue dry and we'll come back and trim it. All right, for our tiger piece, I got to open my cards. I got to know what I'm doing. All right, we're going to lay one of these Granny Apple Green. I had to think about the color. We're going to lay one of these down in the very back, just like this. And we're going to do another one. And actually, I'm going to grab some dimensionals on here. I'm going to do some mini dimensionals for this one, just a couple on the sides here, and I'm going to grab one more for the bottom, just to kind of stabilize it in place. This is going to go off to the side over here, and I put my dimensionals on this side. This side doesn't have any dimensionals right now. We're going to tuck our tiger behind there, and we're going to go ahead and add him. So I have some bigger dimensionals. So I'm going to add those on him. Let's just add a few, and I'm going to tuck him behind here. That one dimensional is going to get in the way of his tail, so we're going to just kind of lift that up, figure it out. There we go. Figure it all out. There we go. All right, now we're going to come back in with this one with our liquid glue, and we're going to adhere this one down. Just a little bit on the bottom, and that's going to just offset just a little bit. Okay. All right, let's go back to all of our pieces and do some trimming, and we're going to come back to our tiger piece in just a minute. And we'll add our sloth and our alligator in just a minute. So go through and trim off any pieces that are hanging over on all of those pieces. One more there. I have all these little green bits everywhere. Oh my goodness. Let's get those out of the way. All right, for our little, what do we call these called? Little bush here. We're going to trim that off. And I'm actually going to use this piece. I'm not going to waste any of it. I'm going to pull this over and I'm going to stick it back behind here just to make that piece look like it's a little bit taller. And we're going to trim these off as well. Anything that's hanging over, you want to trim off. And I have a little piece over here that's hanging off. Okay. So there are our 3 pieces and find the dimensionals. So let's add our sloth. I'm going to use him. So all those dimensionals. And he is just going to kind of hang off the vines here. So just position his arms so they're hanging off the vines. And let's grab some more dimensionals for our alligator here. Have a nice long piece. We'll just stick on him. And he is just going to kind of walk out. And this one you can go off the edge a little bit. Normally I say like don't go off the edge, don't go off the edge. But because this one folds over right here, you can go off the edge. And that one's okay. But the other ones, make sure you kind of stay in the parameters. I'm just going to pull off this little piece of dimensional that was a little hanging over. Okay. All right. Let's get this down to the card. And we have our other little DSP piece here. So you can see this one is going to take a little bit of extra time, but you're going to give this card to somebody you really like. You're not going to make 100 of these to just, you know, give to a stranger. This is for somebody really special. All right, some adhesive on these. Again, you can use whatever adhesive you want. Use some liquid adhesive so it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. I'm just using my Stampin' Up Plus because that's what's out on my desk. All right, we move all these out of the way so we don't glue them to each other. All right, for our little sloth piece, he's going to go right on front. And now these are cut with only 1/8 of an inch border. So just make sure you get that on there with just that slightest border there. Our DSP goes next. Make sure you get those hearts going the same way. And then our tiger, not our tiger, this is our alligator. He goes next. And then this one I'm leaving blank, so you can use this spot to write a message. You can put another white panel here if you want to write your message on a white panel. And then our tiger goes on the very back. All right, so when you fold it all up, this is what you're left with. Isn't that adorable? So each of the die cutting, the coloring, the ink blending, it's going to take a little bit of time, but you're going to be left with a gorgeous, fun card. Okay, now we only have the greeting left, and I mentioned that I used those alphabet dies, and I have already, because I was worried about losing half my letters, I've already adhered down my For You. So we have our wild, and this one I was smart, and I die cut them on adhesive sheets. So I'm actually going to start with the I and the L. We're going to start with the middle of the word. I can peel back these adhesive sheets. There we go. We're going to start with the middle of the word because that way I can make sure everything is lined up. I'm going to get the I and the L situated between the letters on the For. And that way everything is nice and lined up. Okay. And I'd never ever have trouble peeling off the adhesive backs except on camera. That's just the way it goes. Okay. My circle that I'm adhering this to is a deckled circle. The deckled circles were in the Holiday Mini Catalog. Those actually carried over. So we have those again. For my example here, for the first one that I did, I actually used a circle from the Stitch Circle dies. So, or the Stylish Shapes dies. So you can see they're basically the same size, but the edges are a little bit different. So I just had these circles in my stash, which is why I used them instead of die cutting new ones. But you can do it however you want. Okay. So Wild for You. And then I've die cut 3 tiny little hearts from our 3-color Glimmer paper, which is an online exclusive. And I am going to adhere those down. I used the heart dies that I used are from the Sending Love bundle. That is my featured bundle for my card crate. But any heart dies or punches you have will work perfectly. This little one down here, and then this big one up here. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to position them. So easy with those little pieces. All right, we need some more dimensionals. I'm just going to use this edge piece here on my mini dimensionals. Now, when you're adhering this down, let's look at this card. If you put adhesive on the entire circle, you're going to glue your whole card shut. So make sure that you are only putting the adhesive on the left side of the circle. So it's only on this side, because otherwise you're going to glue your whole card shut. And after all this work, you do not want to glue that whole card shut. So I'm just going to try to center this on this panel, just like that. Now, if you wanted to add any twine or ribbons or any other embellishments, you can. I didn't think it needed it. I think this card is super cute without it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I just love this card. So, but if you want to add more, you can. Okay, guys. That is it for our very first Sale-a-Bration Sunday. I'm going to open up one of these so we can see all the panels. That is it for our very first Sale-a-Bration Sunday. I will be back next Sunday with another project. And what are we doing next Sunday? I've written down all of my, what is next Sunday? The 14th. We're going to do this Sunny Days DSP, and I have a gorgeous, another fun fold card to share with you guys. We're going to use that one. So make sure you join me next Sunday again for another Sale-a-Bration Sunday. I'll also be live this Wednesday and right here in my VIP group for another fun project. That one will be a box. We'll be making a box on Wednesday. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. If you are shopping, please head to my online store. Use this host code. Remember, you can earn these Jungle Pals stamp set and dies for free with your qualifying orders during Sale-a-Bration. If you want more information on the glass mat or how to join Stampin' Up, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you more about that. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.